AITA for kicking my friend out of my house after what she did. My M36 wife passed away 2 years ago. I have a 11-year-old son named Sean. I'm doing okay with money. I have a stable income and support system. I have a friend named Kate. We've been together since we were kids. She's like a sister to me, although she tends to boss me around. She's introduced me to her female friends, hoping that I'll settle down again. I told her I have other priorities and I'm required to focus on Sean and his health. He's diabetes. Kate thinks there's something wrong with me, but not everyone's circumstance is the same. I started noticing a pattern in her behavior after she introduced me to a friend of hers. She'd tell me to leave Sean at home when we hang out and meet her friends. She'd tell me to take down any pictures that have my son and wife in it because ladies will assume that I'm a single dad or still married, and that'd limit my chances in dating. I told her to knock it off, and she said that she was looking out for my social life, saying I'm ruining it and exhausting myself. I stopped talking to her for days. Then I decided to let it go. She's been insisting on bringing her friend to visit me with other friends. I agreed to have them as guests. Kate suggested I take Sean to stay with a relative since it'll be adult dinner, but I refused. He was comfortable in his home and didn't want to go. Kate was at my place before her friends arrived.
I checked on Sean and told him to tell me if he needed anything before he went to sleep.
At 12:30, while I was sitting and just starting to chat with Kate's friend, while Kate kept blinking at me with a smirk on her face, I got a text message from Sean telling me he wanted to use the bathroom, but the door handle was stuck and he couldn't open the door. I went upstairs to check. Kate followed me. I found that the door was actually locked. I was confused. I asked Sean and he said he didn't lock it. I started looking for the key. That's when Kate quietly handed it to me, saying she took it. I was stunned. I opened the door for Sean, then I asked her why she locked the door. She said that lied to her friend about me not having kids and didn't want her to see Sean. She said it was no big deal since he was sleeping, but I was furious. I started yelling at her as she kept shushing me. Everyone started leaving after I yelled at Kate and cussed her out for doing this. She blew up after her friend left and said I was an idiot cause most people don't mention kids until after months into dating, and that I didn't deserve her help to move on when she thought I was a decent, sane person. I called her stupid and told her to get out of my house. She told me to wallow in my misery and left. Then her friends kept blaming me for making a scene and treating Kate like that, especially since she cooked dinner and helped a lot. NTA, I'm sorry for your loss. What Kate did is inexcusable. She literally locked your child in their room in their own home in a bid for control. Absolutely not. You need to burn the whole damn apron, not just cut the strings. What if there had been a fire? Cut Kate out of your life for good. Endangering your child's welfare is not a way to help you or move on from your wife's untimely passing. What the actual fuck?
NTA, and you won't find anyone saying otherwise. Who locks a kid inside a room?
And behind their parents' back too. You need to cut off Kate completely. She doesn't understand. No. Wants you to pretend your son doesn't exist and is spewing off lies about dating etiquette. You absolutely need to disclose if you have children or not from the beginning. She told me to wallow in my misery and left.
No friend says that.
She's the miserable one.
Focus on yourself and your kid and do whatever is best and comfortable for both of you.
NTA. She basically wanted you to pull a bait and switch on any prospective partners, and we all know that's an odd thing to do. NTA and OMG. She locked your child in his room. WTF. What if there had been a fire?
Cut her out of your life. She is not really your friend.
And she's a horrible person to have around your child. NTA. Your friend is showing the behavior of a psycho. Who locks a kid in their bedroom? Why is she so obsessed with you dating? You are only 36 yo and still grieving. It is not a good idea to lie about your kid. If they can't handle you having a kid, then clearly they aren't the one for you. I know you and Kate have been friends for a while, but no way would I let her around my son again.
NTA. Because ladies will assume that I'm a single dad.
But you are a single dad. You and your kid are a package deal, and any woman who wants a romantic future with you needs to that up front. Kate trying to pull a bait and switch makes her a shitty friend to both you and her other friends. She trying to set you up with
NTA.
Your ex-friend Kate is psycho. You'd be justified to never allow her around you, your son, or your house ever again. NTA. Kate endangered Sean's life by locking that door. If there had been a fire or carbon monoxide or an intruder, he might not have been able to get out in time if he had to text you and wait for you to come upstairs. NTA. For reference, if I were Kate's friend that she was trying to set you up with, I'd drop her like a hot potato. Locking a child in his room and telling his dad, his widowed dad, he needed to hide his child to get a woman is disgusting behavior. Someone with such a lack of character I would not be interested in spending a lick of my time with.
Also for reference,
the courtesy is to tell a woman you're a dad on the first date, but not let them meet your child for a while. Because kids need stability. It's to protect the child, not to get the woman in the bag before she knows you have a kid. Her way would only get you women you wouldn't want coming within a mile of your child, because they'd be heinous, just like her.
I'm so sorry.
You deserve a better friend. Might I recommend ARC Dadded and ARC Single Dads for some company? NTA. But Kate sure is. Let's recap. 1. You told her you're not ready to date yet, but she completely ignores your wishes and persists in trying to set you up anyway. 2. Believes your son to be some kind of liability, and that you should be hiding him away like you're ashamed of him. 3. Sets you up with women who she believes would also find your son to be a liability, and your widower status to be somehow shameful. 4. Believes you should actively deceive these women, because in her eyes, apparently that's a totally fine thing to do, and because you're apparently not good enough to date otherwise. 5. Has no qualms locking your kid in his room, or out of the bathroom. Not totally clear which is was, though it's not like it matters because it's perfectly dreadful either way. To further her efforts to deceive these women on your behalf, without a shred of regard to your son's health, safety, or happiness. 6. Thinks there's nothing wrong with any of the above. So much so,
in fact,
that she yelled at you afterwards for not just going along with all her morally bankrupt, heinous machinations. So, yeah, I realize you've known this woman for a long time. But what the ever-loving hell are you doing letting her anywhere near you, or especially your son? NTA. Kate is not your friend. If she can't respect that being a parent is part of you, who you are, and anyone who wants to date you must accept that up front. Lock the bathroom door. Who the fuck does she think she is? I would have lost my shit on her too. Talk about an entitled asshole. Editing to ask, did she lock him in his bedroom? I thought you meant the bathroom. Holy fucking shit. NTA. Kate is not a person you want in your life. Sean is part of you, who you are, and if a woman has an issue with that, then it's going to be someone you don't want to date. This bait and switch that Kate is trying to pull won't come to a good end for anyone. It really just makes no sense. I have a child isn't something you spring on someone after months of dating. It should be something the person preferably knows initially, or, barring that, after a date or two. No one wants to be blindsided with something like that. NTA. What the hell? There is something very wrong with Kate. She is far too invested in your love life, and it's just weird. Locking your son in his room is a line in the sand. She potentially endangered him. Yeah, it's a tiny chance of a fire breaking out at night, but the chance is never zero.
Also, in dating, if I were with a person 6 months before they mentioned a kid, I'd walk.
I tell partners about mine immediately cause I'm not interested in wasting my time or theirs. If kids are a deal breaker, I'm sorry for your loss. I hope you find peace and joy in the future and that you and your son have healthy and happy lives. NTA. She is someone that should be in your rearview mirror, a part of your past. I was a single mom for several years and everyone that I met learned that I had a daughter. I didn't allow them to meet her, but they knew that she existed. NTA. Kate clearly is. She's trying to help you in a way, but damn, she's absolutely going about this the wrong way. Her trying to hide your son to the point of putting him in danger. Also, side note, being open about being a dad is totally going to filter out people who don't want to date a single dad. And that's the point. Why would you date someone who is not okay with dating a single dad? NTA. I'd hate to see how your enemies treat you. Sorry for your loss and I hope you are grieving well. I really hope you have a better support system than this supposed friend. NTA. WTF is wrong with her? Well, Kate has you whipped, and not the good kind of whipped. Start isolating yourself from her. Friends do not act like that. NTA at all. It was already over the line to ask you to pretend you didn't have a serious relationship or a child when meeting new friends, but to lock your child in his room while she is a guest in your home is appalling. Not to even mention the safety ramifications of locking a sleeping child in an upstairs room. Huge NTA. What if there was an emergency and you couldn't get his door open? She has no business dictating what you tell potential romantic partners. If I were dating, I would be livid if someone waited till we had been dating for months before telling me they had kids. That's pretty important info to disclose at the get-go. What if who you were dating didn't want to have anything to do with kids?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.